Warm blessings. Master Shaman Palai Chi here. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Warm blessings. If you guys are coming in, then type in Juju Chi, hashtag Juju Chi, and hopefully I can see you guys as well here on the chat. Today I wanted to talk about basically why is it that we are celebrating and why would we celebrate New Year's, our celestial New Year's, that is. And it's not the typical New Year's or New Year's Eve in basically our society and where we live in, let's say if you're living in the United States or elsewhere. Today, I wanted to talk about our celestial New Year. So, what is it? What is this celestial New Year's, and why do we need to celebrate it? Why do we, and why did our ancestors celebrate a celestial New Year's? Right? Because really, most of us have lost our path, has lost the way to really understanding what a New Year celebration really is. We lost our way through greed, fame, right? People that just wants to make money off of the New Year's. Um, Good afternoon to all of you guys that are coming in. Type in hashtag Juju Chi. Give me those hearts and stars. I like interaction. And today I was just actually talking about what we're going to be talking about the topic today on the reason why we celebrate New Year's, and that New Year's is and I'm referring to the celestial New Year's. If you guys haven't been on my website, it's out there on the website talking about the reason for that and when we actually celebrate that as well. Um, and there's not a right, there's not a wrong time for celebration, but there is how do I say, a range of dates where it is, if you celebrate it in those range of dates, then you're going to be capturing the most, right? Capturing the most good energy, good vibes of those times, of those within the dates. So welcome to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, this is Master Shaman Palai Chi, and I'm here on the channel. The channel exists, Master Shaman Palai Chi with Falipi Healing. It exists to help you and to bring in more of an understanding in regards to what is shamanistic healing, or what is this whole spiritual path that we are all going on. And there's no one of us that is left out, actually, but there is a ton of us that is probably frustrated or confused or think that it's a burden. And whether you're on the shamanic path or if you are on the spiritual path, those are two different paths. You can also be on the healer path, right? You're on the way to becoming a healer. Although on the way of becoming a healer, you're also drawn into your spiritual journey, right? So a spiritual journey is different from the healer or shamanic path, or if you're trying to focus in and becoming more of your into your psychic abilities, right? So if you're new to the channel, go out there and like and subscribe, and pay some close attention to the channel. I'm not here to, you know, make money. I'm here to give what I can and to make a difference in your lives. I hope that I have done that as well. At the same time, I also talk about my business, which is Faliti Healing, a business that was started in 2011 when I first started out there and doing readings, psychic readings for free at a park that I was drawn to. Someone told me that I should do that, so I went and did that for a couple of weeks. It was awesome, and met a ton of people, got a lot of experience, and it just started out like that in regards to my psychic abilities. Though the shamanic abilities and my healer abilities in the chi, follow the chi realm, right? If you guys haven't seen that video, go out there and look at that video and maybe even do some follow the chi energy healing. If you guys are also out there on TikTok, go join me on TikTok. You'll see some things that I put out there to help you wake up a little bit, right? To wake up and to learn. But I've been on this path since a long time ago. So I got drawn to the path at the age of 2 through phenomenal or paranormal experiences that I had. And then throughout that time till when I got married, more paranormal experiences. And then on my way to really becoming a shaman, but didn't know I was going to become a shaman. I also rejected the fact of becoming a shaman, right? But then I was called to do it. So that's the path that I'm on and have been on for a very long time. Warm blessings. Folly the Healing, or that came into existence in 2011, came into existence because there was a calling for a need to wake people up, to have them feel more safe, right? When they come out about their gifts and abilities. And that was the whole point of my pioneering that phase, right? That phase of where everybody was kind of hiding about their spiritual journey. They were hiding about their shamanic abilities. They were hiding about their psychic abilities and yet becoming a shaman at the same time. And those were the times back in 2010. Well, I'll say 2006 is when everything kind of started. And then 2011, when Folly the Healing came out, I had no clue what I was going to do, but I had to do what I had to do. So Folly the Healing came out, and that was the whole point of that, was to establish a place of how do I say, a place of healing with spiritual, energetic healing, right? And utilizing shamanic healing to allow us to see the way so that other people, and to pioneer that, so that other people out there in the latter part, which is now, right? We're like 20, or I say actually 11 years in, and there's a ton of people that I never saw come up with their shamanic, how do I say, abilities or gifts or psychic gifts and abilities that are coming out now. And it's a ton of people now that are more comfortable about going into the space, right? Of showing who they are, of becoming more authentic, of kind of finding out what is the way or how could I do this. And they are awesome, very, some are very, very thinking that it's a burden to themselves, and some are thinking that it's a blessing to themselves or for their family. And now they're just coming into their space now, in the space of this conscious mind, right? And they're being more open to listening. They're being more open to finding their healing path. And that's why Folly the Healing exists, because we understand at the forefront and know deeply in the spiritual aspects of all peoples that this was going to be the way. And that's why Folly the Healing existed, to pioneer that way for most people, especially our Hmong community, to be okay and comfortable with coming out about their gifts and their abilities as shamans. And for some of them are still rising shamans as we speak today. Some of them were rising shamans then and maybe are more comfortable now with coming out. And we can see that in the space of the Hmong shaman community. We can also see that with a ton of other people that I worked with, not just Hmong, right? 95% of the people that I worked with back in 2011 was non-Hmong, right? So non-Hmong people. And I can tell you right now that there's a vast of people. We have African Americans, right? We have also Caucasians. So a ton of different nationalities and cultures that were also awakening to their spiritual path, and the latter part, their very healer path, right? The healer path in them. And so that is also something that is been intriguing to experience as a master shaman healer, which I also am very, I hesitate to say master. At the same time, I should be saying it because my guides are telling me you shouldn't be afraid of that, right? And I'm yet working still on coming into that phase of not being afraid to say what I'm worth, right? Because it's always been this very modest part of me. As you guys know, I'm very passive and not as assertive, but I have been becoming more assertive because of our society. It is a bringing of a need to become more assertive, yet at the same time, have humility and be humble and balance in that, right? So today I wanted to talk to you guys about being in your original selves, right? Being in your original selves, going back to the ancestors. Why are we celebrating this celestial New Year's, right? And what is a celestial New Year's? So if you guys don't know what a celestial New Year's is, or if you do, type that down in your chat and let me know on the side there. What do you think the celestial New Year is? And some of you have probably already heard this plenty of times before. In Hmong, we call it Noj Tsiab, right? Noj Tsiab, Tache, Tava Tache, Onde. And if you don't know that, you will not yet one day, right, before you can move tiakai. So I just want to correct that because some people don't understand really what New Year's is. They think it's the big celebration or festival that you always go to. And in Minnesota, it was at the Metrodome a long time ago, right? And or a place that you all go and meet and socialize in court, right, with the young ones, the young teens or preteens, and the ones that are single, they're going out there and to court each other by tossing ball. That's all you know about New Year, right? But you maybe have not been taught about the true celestial New Year of why you are doing that in the back end. Why are you doing that? And the reason why we are celebrating it, right? Have you been taught this, whether it was in school through the cultural, Hmong culture school, or through a different culture, right? Even other cultures right now are celebrating and have been celebrating at the end of October, right? All the way through. So the timeline is end of October, all the way through to April. That is the New Year's dates, right? The range of dates that you can celebrate or you could celebrate New Year's. Because what does New Year's really mean? It is a connection, right? The connection with you, your energy, and the new year that is coming up. So October is the beginning celebration. Why? Because it is the new harvest. And when the new harvest occurs, it is also known as the head of the dragon. So the head of the dragon, when the dragon kind of pops out, right? Celestially, right? So spiritually, in the cosmos, we have the head of the dragon popping out. And so this is all taught by my spirit guides. So I want you guys to know this, and I'm teaching it to you. So head of the dragon pops out, and it's time to celebrate. It's time to acknowledge ancestors, right? The ancestors that maybe you have long lost connection with, right? And for some of you, for the last maybe 10, 20 years, you've been reconnecting back to your ancestors through your shamanic path or through a healing path. Whether you are Hmong or non-Hmong, it doesn't matter because we celebrate this time like similarly the same, okay? And so we celebrate New Year's. There's different steps that goes into celebrating your New Year's if you are Hmong. If you are non-Hmong, you can still do these steps as well, or you may have your own ancestral steps that are very similar to these steps, right? And you can let me know in the comments down below what kind of steps you guys do, right? And as I'm talking about this, why don't you guys type down or over at the chat over there um, where you are watching from. I always like to know where everybody's watching from on Freeing Friday because we want to bring in this freeing feeling, right? Excuse me. The feeling of freeing ourselves and not being afraid of really acknowledging who we are, acknowledging our ancestors, whether we are the same culture, within the same race or culture, it does not matter because spiritual and energetic energies, vibrations of the universe does not discriminate. And how I do one thing and how you do one thing could be totally different. But in the end game, right, in the end, and the whole picture is for the same purpose. Does that make sense? Yay, we have somebody saying Maryland. Warm blessings, Miss L. Vang. Warm blessings to you. All right. And so we're talking about this small New Year celebration, whether I'm talking about New Year celebration, I'm also referring to the celestial New Year celebration. So the first step that you typically would take, and this is for any family member, right? Any families that have is like the head of the households, right? So the father, the mother, or if you don't have any kids, right? Then you are, still a couple in a household, right? If you want your household to be in wellness, right, for the next coming year, the new year, and you want it to bring prosperity, you want success to flow in, you're looking at, make it rain, right? You're looking at bringing in goodness to children and less sicknesses or illnesses. You're also having this time, this whole time frame to get a chance to acknowledge your ancestors, to acknowledge the culture that they brought here in the physical world and left with you or your grandparents or your parents, whoever that may be, and that moved it forward, right? So when you guys are getting prepared to celebrate your celestial New Year's, again, it's that time frame from October, end of October to mid-April, I believe. That's mid-April. That's the time frame that my spirit guides had taught me. Okay. And so during this whole time, you can celebrate whenever you want to. There's no right and there's no wrong. But there is the head, which is the head of the dragon when the dragon pops up. So, kind of speaking in terms of I want to say the word metamorphosis to morphing, right? The old year to the new year and connecting in that way. Then you have the head of the new year, right? Which is the end of October. And then you have the middle, which is that partial end of November to December timeframe, right? And maybe even partially of January. And then you have the end part or the tail of the dragon at the end part of him, which is similarly to after January, mid-January to April timeframe, right? So you have this time frame, these amount of chances to give thanks, to acknowledge your ancestors, and to allow yourself to connect or reconnect back to who you were vibrationally and also consciously, subconsciously, right? Subconsciously. So, in that, first step is to, if you are someone that has a healer format, right? You are a rising healer, you have an altar, you do some kind of belief ritual, and you believe that you are a healer. You may be having psychic abilities, uh, some or all, it doesn't matter. You may be a shaman, you may be a seer, an oracle, whatever you may be, right? A wizard. So at the beginning of this, whenever you're recognizing this time frame, right? If you're deciding to do it at the end of October, if you're deciding to do it whenever around this range that we just spoke about, you're going to either Hua or do a healing ceremony for yourself or the family or your home. Okay, so that's step one. And some people don't need to chop honing, okay? So for example, I don't need to chop honing because my honings don't need to, which is my spirit guides, don't need to go out there and take a while and then come back, right? They don't need to be freed, or so to speak, right? And then they come back. Usually that's the point of all the chop honing, which is the letting free of your guides for a while and then they come back. So for me, I don't need to do that. And if we do that, right? And if we do that, then we'll do it in the moment and then they are back again. So I don't need to wait for a time period in order to heal somebody or to utilize my spirit guides or spirit guides coming back to me. It usually just is automatic, right? It's automatic for me. Now, some people will need like a week's time when it's the New Year's time. They don't do any healings. They will be like fasting. Okay, it's their fasting time. And so they are not going to do any healings for anybody, any readings for anybody, right? And that's why they need to not do the healings, because they are now acknowledging their ancestors' wisdom through the shamanic healings that they, or the shamanic guidance that they've gotten, their abilities. And so now they're going to need to wait in order for the new year to go through, right? The energies to recycle or filter through. And then now they are ready to later on, maybe it's a month. Some people wait a month out, and then some people wait a few weeks. I wait about a day at the at the most. And if I wait longer, I'm just choosing to wait a bit longer for myself to take a rest, right? Because I'm having to do a ton of things within that week of celebration. And so usually they call it no peito, right? But then I'll talk about that at a later video, depending on the timing here today. But first of all, step one is to draw koning, or depending on what your konings tell you. And if you're a rising shaman, I would let you know that you need to get some guidance on that. If you are, if this is your first time dealing with your spirit guidance, right? In the first year, right? If you've never done that as a rising shaman, then you'll need to find out about how to do that and ask the question. All right. Or maybe your sifu needs to also let you know as well, but they usually will not remember to let you know unless you are asking the question as a disciple. Okay. So that is Jolponing, which is letting the guides free to go filter, to go rest, acknowledging them the whole month or week, and then they will come back to guide you, and then you will be able to do healings again. And that's for the shaman, right? Shaman kind. Also, the healer kind. You will also have guides that you need to do that with. But if you haven't known for all these years or all this time, this is the ancient way of doing it, okay? Of you recycling or filtering, letting out, filtering, right? You are self-filtering, filtering your spirit guides. And then number two, cleanse or sweeping the home. So during this time, you're going to cleanse, you're going to sweep the home, a very corner of your home, and that's called cleansing the home, right? New Year's cleansing of the home. And then number three is you're going to also, if you have your husband there, he's also going to be acknowledging his side of the ancestors, right? The ancestors from his side of the family. However, if you are married to him in the Hmong culture, you are going to be acknowledging his side of the family. You can yet also acknowledge your side as well if you are married, but you can, depending on what your husband's willing to let you do, but you can do it inside the home or outside the home. Usually they say, no, no, no. The wife will always do it outside of the home to acknowledge the ancestors, to give them to offerings, or, money, paper, food, whatever you want to offer your ancestors outside of the home, right? Maybe parents or grandparents, but not ever inside. Well, I say that you can be, if it's a willingness from your husband or spouse, you are able to do it inside the home and outside, and or outside. But that is totally up to what you can work out. And if you don't want to dispute, then do what is can be can or do what is agreeable to. Okay. So when your spouse goes and does his suga, and the suga is also the home altar. So the home altar is a altar that basically helps to bring success, prosperity, wealth, health to the home and that you live, right? And then the house spirits as well, and then your ancestral guides, right? Your ancestral ancestors as well. So then this is the altar that will help you during the next part of, the whole new year that comes in, and it's connecting you through there, right? Through that altar for your acknowledgement to them, where you're going to bring that acknowledgement back to the ancestors during New Year, okay? And then when I want to clarify, when they say Noj Tsiab, right? When Tsiab comes, then it's New Year's. It's connecting to the new year and leaving the old, right? It is also Noj Tsiab. right? Meaning that you're going to Noj Tsiab. Okay, so Noj Tsiab pretty much means Noj Tsiab. So you're going to be eating meat for the next 3 days at least, and then maybe some people for 7 days, but 3 days fasting on veggies, right, and eating meat only was the tradition. But these days, I would say that it's both, and do it both, right? Veggies and meat. If you're not a meat eater, right, then you would do something a little bit different. But that was just traditions back then because they were very, how do I say, they didn't have the sufficient amount of meat at one point, and so it was a privilege to be able to have meat for the 3 days of New Year's. So that's why it's called Noj, which basically means back then Noj. Okay. And so that's step number 3 is your suka. Okay, so you need to renew your suka to refresh it, give it a new face, whatever you need to do. Okay, and then refresh that, and then also do the ritual for that. Okay, which I could talk about in a different video. The other thing, the fourth thing is basically your home celebration, which is when you have family come over and you're having a big meal together. You're talking about the old year, letting things go, and then you're focusing on the new year and bringing blessings for the new year, right? And they always hold iluto to basically it's a round of shots to the round table, right? Around the table, a round of shots for everybody to celebrate and acknowledge the New Year's. You're drinking for health, wellness, prosperity, and you're doing that. And then also, the last thing, one thing that most people have forgotten is the Beichia, okay? And only some will do that, and some don't have the elders anymore. So they just kind of quit and they don't do it anymore. Or maybe they never did do that, even when their elders were there. And so Beichia is the second thing or I mean, it's the fifth thing. Sorry about that. Fifth thing. So the fifth thing that you would do, which is on the morning of the third, I'll say the third morning. You could do it on the third morning. Some people choose to do it the next morning. Okay. So you could do the next morning after that night of Nochia. Then you could do it the next morning to the elders, which is como Beichia, which is Beichia, but Tia Malahatia. Ya Bei thia not chia na ya mu pe ne pe si pe pa pe ye pe ne na po kong yun zu and then also mu um not chia which is not chia thia and that morning, right? So you're also intaking meat on the next morning. So that's the second, that would be counted as the second day of your New Year's, right, celebration. So this is sort of like a quick rundown of the steps that you need to look at and ask questions about if you are just barely starting a home altar for this new year. So it's Jiao if you have Kuanings, all right, or if you have spirit guides and or you are a shaman, you have a shaman in the family, then someone is going to be doing a big healing ritual for the family for the new year and allowing their guides to be freed for a time period. And then it will come back at a certain time, and then they'll be able to do Oning again. But at the same time, if you are a healer of some sort and even non-Hmong, you can also and do this as well because it will help your spirit guides to actually have a refreshed energy of themselves, right? When they come back after the celebration, after you celebrating your New Year's, right? And then number 2, cleansing your home, sweeping out the old and releasing that. And then number 3, suka, going and doing and renewing your home altar because your home altar is sort of like your temple of your home. Remember that. So what do you do if you guys have a home temple, a temple in your home, right? Your home altar, your home is your temple, right? And then you are trying to renew that. So renew the energy, cleanse it out, and then renew the face of your altar or whatever you want to do to replenish that, right? And then Number 4 is your home celebration, calling over family members to help you celebrate your home New Year's. And then you trade off, back in the old days, you would trade off and go to their home to celebrate their home New Year. All right. And everybody has their own home New Year. And then number 5 is the morning of, right? The next morning after the New Year's celebration, you would bei chia, okay, which is going, and then you're going on your knees. They also call it in Chinese the kowtow, which is gengmu bei, which is going on your knees, and then you're also basically praying and asking for blessings from your ancestors, parents, or grandparents, and the elders for the coming new year, for wealth, prosperity, good health, and whatever else you want to ask for, right? So those are the 5 steps, the 5 main steps to having a celebration at home for the celestial new year. So you can do this at any point in time of the time between the end of October to the middle of April. And that would be you celebrating basically your New Year's. You get a chance to do that anytime. Most of the time, the Hmong community likes to celebrate it within the November-December timeframe, but there is going to be a preference once you understand and know that this New Year, what does this mean to celebrate this? As I was talking, it's basically a renewal of your home, of your home's energy, your own energy, your family. It's a renewal, releasing the old and bringing in or connecting in with the new. Okay, so that's the whole point of this. It's also to acknowledge the ancestors before you of why you are existing today. So this is why you eat with the ancestors, not Jia, right? Beito. So Beito we'll talk about in a different video. Since I'm at 3 o'clock, I need to start moving. So the things that I spoke about today, no one really talks about, and some people, most in the culture, have lost this knowledge. Right? The things that I've talked about today was channeled through to me by my highest spirit guides, right? And also the very Hmong or traditional Hmong spirit guides, right? As well as Ziyo, right? Chi Yu, which is one of our Hmong gods back in the ancient days, right, that had led our Hmong nation. So I've been taught this through my spirit guides, and I want to teach it to you guys, so you guys can make and say and break that, or do as I say, or do not what I say. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. But this is what I've been taught, and this is what I've seen so far. And the things that I'm talking about, you go and do some research, your back research on it, right? Your due diligence on it to see if that makes sense for you, right? So if you want to do all these steps, you'll need to find out how to get through to each of them as well. And maybe I will also do some videos. Hopefully I get some time to do the videos on each of the steps, right? And for some people, they'll do it a little bit differently because why? Why did we change up the steps? So these are some of the original steps, right? Why did we change up the steps? Because during different times of war, of migration, of cultures that we then was influenced by, then it changed for the Hmong nation, right? And that can also be true, and I'll be very honest to say that that is also very true for so many races and cultures out there as well, because due to the wars and the control and the power and the migrations to different lands at different spaces and times, then we have changed up our traditions from this original tradition to something totally, maybe not totally different, but partially different, right? I shall say that. So that's today I wanted to just talk a little bit about the celestial New Year's, the time frame of it, so that you understand when. And then these are the 5 steps that you can go and do your due diligence on with your own family members. And if you are needing more information, please type down in the description below, in the comments below, of what you would like to know more about, right? Some people will have their own versions, right? But this is the version that was taught to me through channeling, okay? So remember, all the things that I'm sharing with you are the things that I have channeled through, because I needed to know, right? I needed to know what the correct way was, all right? And we can definitely talk more in each area, more in detail, another time. And then, so the other thing is, why are you celebrating New Year? Because you need to connect to the new year in order to embrace your connectivity to your roots, because the loss of the roots has been so much through this social corruption, I shall say. Social corruption has brought us to leaving, or completely leaving, or losing our faith, losing the faith in ourselves and our ancestors, because my belief is your faith in your ancestors was the original religion, if I had to call it religion, right? Because there was a true belief and you were a believer of your ancestors. But because there was corruption in society, then everybody kind of left that fully or partially to some degree, and then went sort of on a tangent and created their own thing, which, if it's correct, then you will be in the correct. If it's not, then you will find your way back some way, somehow, right? Because that's what we're always drawn to, is to find our way back. All right. You're welcome, my Lord. My Lord says, thank you for sharing your channeled knowledge with us. Aditha says, religion is a modern Western concept. Yes, it sure is, Aditya. It sure is. Religion is a modern Western concept, but it was also the spirit, it was always the spiritual faith or belief in our ancestors was the root of our beliefs, right? There was no other way. That was the way. And that is also going to become the way in the future. If you are out there listening to me right now, you will go back to your roots, your ancestors, and continue to seek the way of them, and then continue to seek the way before them and why it was, right? So go back, find your way back, everybody, right? And do not let anything else corrupt you, because you need to wake up today, right? All right. So I'm going to stop here on New Year's. I think I took enough time on New Year's. You'll watch for my other videos to come out. I'll talk about other of the components that I just talked about for New Year's in the upcoming weeks. I hope to get some things out sooner than later, but I cannot promise anything due to my scheduling. Okay. So we are doing Freeing Friday today. So it is one card pull if you guys would like. And then also, if you guys want a 3-card pull, you can donate $30 to the PayPal address down in the description. And then we'll go ahead and do that for you as well. You can also ask for a spirit channeled message if you want that. That is also through a donation as well. And as soon as I get that, I will call you out there and then do that for you. But if I'm not getting anything as in any request, then I'm going to be leaving quickly here as well. Okay. I only come out here to basically existing to inform you those that has been misinformed. And if you feel like you've been misinformed, then you will find your way back some way, somehow. Okay. All right. So free card pulls. If you guys are wanting this, let me know soon here before I am going to talk about something else and do a card pull for the weekend. If and we will also do a healing song as well. That's also on my agenda. Okay? All right. Gonom says, hello, Jujuchi. One card pull for me on how the next few weeks will be, please. Ping Ving says, would like a card pull as well. And then Billy Yang. Actually, Billy Yang had asked for that. Okay. All right. So we'll do a card pull for Billy Yang. Okay. And I'm just going to use my regular original. This is the original tarot deck. Okay. If you guys don't know. Okay. Originally made for reading your life. Right. That's what I was taught by my guides. So everything on this channel is channeled. All right. So Billy Yang, this is for you. One card pull. If you guys would like to see where to send that, it's palaichi@gmail.com or sorry, palaichi@gmail. Okay, .com. So, all right, Billy Yang, this is for you. One card pull. So Billy, wow, right now I would say that Spirit wants me to let you know that the energy that's flowing from you is very down, and I want you to get your head back up, Billy. Okay. Um, on a 0 to 10 point, you are at about a negative 9-10 in regards to how you're feeling right now about yourself and about your career area, okay, about your success. And it feels to me that I'm just sensing that it's a deep anxiety. I feel that you're feeling all the downness energy that has been going through planetary wise. So you've been more um, sensitive to that, actually, Billy. So hopefully that makes sense for you, Billy. So keep your head up. You'll need. I will say that if you want, you can definitely do. You can definitely get a healing for yourself. If you want a consultation on services, it's free. You can go out there and schedule one, and we can talk about that as well. Okay. I definitely know what and feel what Billy is going through. So keep your head up, Billy. Go no. All right. We'll see what we can tell you and go no. Okay. So free card pull. Here we go. Go no. Wow, you are the opposite of Billy. So from a scale of 0 to 10, go no, you're at about a positive 9-10. That is just funny. Okay. So I'm going home. Good things flowing in the next few weeks. I would say even in the next coming week here, I feel that your energy is on a good vibration schedule, right? And it's very positive right now on a high 9-10. So I wouldn't complain right now and go no, but that's what I want to tell you. Okay. So it's going to be good. Don't worry too much. Let it flow. All right. And as I'm saying, let it flow, that reminds me before I forget, I wanted to tell you guys about my healing balm that's out there, the uplifting energy bombs, the herbal bombs. This is the same energy that I would do to help you or heal you through a session, but it's just in the balm. So go ahead and go to the website if you are interested in getting some healing from me, but you are not able financially to do like a full session with me. The healing balm is going to help you throughout your journey, okay, throughout your life journey or spiritual shamanic journey, healer's journey, whatever you're going through. It is the uplifting ache and muscle balm. I call it the uplifting ache and muscle balm. Why do I call it the ache and muscle balm? Because I made this healing balm for myself. My spirit guides channeled in the ingredients to do it, how to do it, how to make it. And I've been using this balm, and I just want to show you here. It's just like this inside. Okay. And then what you want to do is you rub it I usually rub it right here and or anywhere else, temples wise, right? If you guys are getting migraines or headaches, you want to rub that in and on back, give it to a masseuse. Go to a masseuse to put that on you through a massage. And that will also bring good vibes or energies to you to uplift Usually people with a lot of aches and pains will then feel a difference. The ones that don't and just feels more like anxiety or more emotional pain, then they will feel a little bit lighter after utilizing of the balm. That's what I found out through some testimonies of my and or feedbacks from people that has used it, especially at the exposition. One time I had a gal or two gals actually, and they came and they were older gals, but they came and they tried this out for 20 minutes, came back and bought like two. So, and they had backaches. So it's good physically. It's also very good spiritually as well. If you don't know where your pain is coming from, you don't know why you're having migraines, you don't know why you're having stomach pains, you may be having what we call shamanic illnesses, then this is going to be the balm for you. Okay. The balm. Go out there to the website and go check that out. I also have my healing and manifesting candles out there as well to give you that extra boost. All right. Okay, so up next we have a free card pull for Peng Bang. Okay, so Peng, this is your card pull. All right. If you guys haven't already, go out there and subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up if you are also watching. Go share this, please, out there and help me spread the word of Faliti Healing, of Master Palai Chi, and what we can do to help you, have a smoother way, have a smoother route to your spiritual journey, into your shamanic journey as well. Or if you're becoming a healer, a wizard, a psychic medium, whatever that you're trying to get to, that end result to your highest best, right? If you're trying to do that healing part or be more conscious there, I am also here to help you as well. Okay, so Peng Bang, here we go. Peng. So Peng, it feels like and I'm getting this right now, that you're in some kind of a pain. So pain. Okay, so it feels like there's pain somewhere in the body. I feel like there's a healing going on. It's from a 0 to 10. You're at the pain of about 1, 2. So it's not in the negatives, but at the same time, I feel like you're just kind of stuck somewhere and you're not able to really move outward right now, and this is not the time to move. This is actually the time to regain energy. Okay, Ping. So this is what I got for you. This card. Okay. Although it's okay, Ping. You are going to be okay. I don't feel like it's a crazy pain in the way of like an illness type, but it is sort of emotionally also hurtful or draining as well. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense for you, Ping. Okay. All right. Next up, we have Miss Elving. Miss Elving. Here we go. This is from Miss Elving. Okay. Take a deep breath with me, everybody. Okay, so Miss Elving, Spirit wants me to let you know that you'll need to get yourself back up, okay? Once you find what you really want. Right now, you're not in you're not even in the mood to really research it, but you need to be willing to at least take action or a step into finding out what you really want for your career area, okay? Because I feel like there's been a halt somewhere along the way. Hopefully that makes sense for you, Miss Elving. All right. All right. Peng says it makes sense. Thank you. You're welcome, Peng. And Go Nong says thank you. You're welcome, Go Nong. Billy Yang says yes. Thank you very much. So you guys are all welcome. Please go help and pay it forward. Spread the word of Faliti Healing, of Master Palai Chi. And you know that the universe is going to know who you are. Okay. All right. In a few more minutes here, I'm going to be pulling up the card for the weekend. And just having a feel for this November, because we are in the first week of November. Just having a feel for what that is going to feel like coming up, okay? All right, so um, Mai Xiong Lo wants a spirit message, and thank you so much for your donation, Mai Xiong, okay? Here we go, guys. Take a deep breath for me. I'm actually going to relight a candle here. All right. All right, deep breath for me, everyone. Spirit message for Mai Xiong Lo. Có chỉ cho như nhua xế mà mò. Giờ tia rong li có chỉ nhỏ khỏi thơ cũ. Chỉ tao giá li lò. Có yi mình ý đùa. Ó đùa. Đùa thì bê mà li bỏ. Nơ mò. Nhưng mua ít cho hồ kế. Sư sư. Yếu thọ tờ đâu có. Yếu thua tàu. Lưu trông. Yếu khí tàu. Lưu va. 拼個道，我些得落海里，但是可能不要海底個我些落天毛，khi có lúc些cả 我一二呀，只要一呀是毛，頭個我做呀二，拖做呀背，個馬里寶那個馬里寶呢？chỉ tu sửa đâu nhỉ đâu gì rậu no sông no có lo lời kia dài cả tàu có cho hầu kế nửa lò nhớ cho nửa xí đo có lúc đà lúc rò mình gì thiên mò 我关系chỉ cho xa xái hình hình tiền sĩ sai cả mạnh sư có thể lý yếu của tàu yên sư nấm hò take a deep breath Mai Xiong Lo. And I'm going to be sending you a golden light. Close eyes. And take a deep breath. Do you feel it, Mai Xiong? And there we go. All right. That was good. Very good. All right. So Mai Xiong Lo says, yes, I feel the warmth. So good. Hopefully that can get you moving. All right. Again. Miss Elving says, yes, I need an assistant. It's been vacant for months and I am burnt out. So yes, that's good, Miss Elving. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do a card pull quickly for the weekend here with my other deck. Let's see here. I chose this deck this week. So we have the Goddess deck. All right. Mai Xiong Lo says, thank you so much. I wasn't expecting to get teary-eyed at work. LOL. Thank you and your guys for the reading. Yes, I felt your teariness coming through. Because you feel like as if you can't budge, my hyung, through, and it will soon come. All right? But be willing to take the action. Okay? So here's the card for the weekend, everybody. Let's get going on here. I'm telling myself this. All right, take a deep breath with me as we pull this card out. Okay, I'll show you the card. Receptivity. Being able to receive, okay? Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. Isn't this what we kind of talked about today? We talked about being able to be willing to acknowledge ancestors and all that for the reason of what? Of being able to receive and be willing to receive and not have your ego all the way up here, lowering it down all the way down, right? If you guys are on TikTok, go take a look and at one of the videos that I have out there in regards to lowering your ego. If you guys want to move forward in the path that you need to move forward in, doing your purpose, right? Then you'll need to be willing to allow yourself to receive, especially if you want to increase your intuition, your abilities, your gifts, whatever that may be, right? Your energy. And that leads you to self-mastery, right? The possibilities of self-mastering. Okay. So that was the card for the weekend. Be willing to receive this coming weekend and also be willing to, in this month, as we are in like, the early part of November, be willing to open your heart to receiving. And at the same time, as you are willing to open your heart to receiving, you also can become very giving at the same time. So think about how that works. All right. All right. I was going to end here and Seashells comes out and says, one card pull, one card for me, please, if possible. Thank you. All right. So we'll do a card pull for Seashells. Go out there, subscribe if you haven't already, like, and go share the video with whoever else out there, whether it's on Facebook, wherever else you guys would like to share this video. I'm up for it because I know people out there do need to get a handle on what is the truth. And that's why I exist, is to inform those that has been misinformed, or maybe that has not been informed at all before on the subjects that we had talked about. Okay, so Seashells, this is for you. Seashells. All right, Seashells. All right, so Spirit wants me to let you know, Seashells, that there is an incoming of a new wave. And I feel like that's what the word is, a new way or new wave. So it's a new wave coming in. It feels like a change coming in. The energy that you are in right now on a 0 to 10, you're at about a +4. So keep on climbing up. You've been trying to be more positive in the last, I say, 2 months here. And continue on, Seashells, because you need to do that. Okay, you need to get continuing on in regards to your positivity so that you don't lose sight of your momentum. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Is it Karine? Karine C sent a little donation for a card, so I will pull a card for Karine as well. Okay. Again, if you want the 3-card pull, you need to do the donation and the spiritual message. Okay. Okay. So here we go. Seashell says, "Thank you so much." You're welcome, Seashells. Karine, here's a card pull for you, Karine. All right. Here we go. So, and thank you for your donation. Karine, you're at about on a 0 to 10 basis or rate. You're at about a positive 2, 3. Okay, a positive 2, 3 in regards to your energy. I feel like it's more of an anxiety that sits with you with your trauma, the trauma that you've had in your past in regards to relationship. So I feel like you're starting to let that trauma go a little bit and then trying to climb up through to yourself, through to your own love. Okay. So, Karine, that is for you. And I feel like you need to not stop, just like seashells, you need to continue the momentum of self. It's the Lulu candle. Lulu candle. If you guys haven't seen my other candle reading, go out there and check it. I have a couple candles out there that I show, and the Lulu candle would be ideal for you, Karine. Okay. So you can order that through the website at falithealing.com. All right. Fonduku says, appreciate you so much, Master Chi. Warm blessings. I appreciate all of you guys as well very much for being on with me live here and everybody as well going out towards the weekend. I'm going to have to stop here, but we're going to do a healing song right now. If you guys want to get a little bit of healing and uplift yourself, then you can close eyes and open up your palms. I always say, open up your palms to allow for receiving. And remember, we got that card today for receptivity. So being willing to lower your pride and ego all the way down, up your etiquette. Okay, I just had a video on that on TikTok. So up your etiquette and learn the way, right? Learn the way so that you can be in the way to your own enlightenment. Okay, so here we go. Take a deep breath, and it's whatever comes. Sanman Sunan, Sanman Sunan, Hunamana Sanamana Sana Suprasan. Satnahu Prasan Sitaya Prataya Satna Suhun Satna Pruhu Prasan Pridna Sathutinsa Pridna Sathutinsa Pratna Susadya Hueyanane Hueyanayane. Deep breath. And there you have it. There you have it. And I'm going to stop here. Warm blessings to all of you. And I appreciate all of you as well with being on with me and supporting the channel as well with Faliti Healing and myself, Master Palai Chi. Take a deep breath for all of you guys and ease into your coming days and the coming weeks. Warm blessings, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.